Yes.
So that, and start the video so she can
Unmistakably
hear
Hillary.
us. She's not this far away and it's her good one. Oh, but I can't.
She's in
Mongolia.
Mongolia.
Mongolia. That's the word I couldn't remember yesterday.
Good morning.
It was our meeting last month that she was chiming in from Mongolia and you were in Azerbaijan.
Very well traveled group.
Yeah.
Arguably, we join from the most diverse areas of any of the commissions. I think that's an easy take.
The
No,
competition is far behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hillary, good morning.
Good morning.
How do things look from Ulaanbaatar this morning?
It's looking lovely. The spring is here. I don't have to wear like a giant jacket anymore. It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's getting light really early, and yeah, it's all roses. I haven't seen anything though, like actually blossom, like budding even. I keep waiting for signs of like actual spring, which I haven't seen yet. But yeah,
Well,
all is well.
That's good. We haven't heard from Jen Gale, is that correct?
She emailed me and said she plans on attending, but will be late.
Okay. I think everyone was on the email from Darren, but he has some personal challenges right now. He may not be here with us, that's okay.
I'm not so good.
And Matthew will be here a little bit late, so it's virtually. Excellent, so we're ready to start. Thank you for sending out an agenda for us. I know that you sent me lots of great stuff. So hopefully we'll fit in one of these categories. If that's all right. So let's start with event reports. With our hike report. Who's on there? Three of us.
Yeah, the three of us,
The three of us. And lots of other people.
Yeah.
I saw that Matt even advertised it for us on Bikeboard.
Yeah, several different.
So
Facebook groups.
what did we think? Any learnings? I know that we felt good about it.
Yeah, good turnout. I think people learned stuff. I definitely learned stuff, and it was a beautiful day. And
Contrast to almost every time we try to.
yeah, exactly. Last few Earth days. Yeah, and Mark Farmer did a good job, I thought, explaining kind of what goes on up there and what the priorities of the land management team are and what we can do to support them and enjoy the area and educate others. And so I thought that was really good. I think it was a bit more of a challenging hike than a lot of us were expecting. Yeah, it was a bit steep and maybe a little bit longer than I think some people were ready for. But otherwise, I think it was great, and people could turn around when they were ready to, and some people did, and that was okay.
We forgot to get a list.
Yes.
That's something that maybe I could just set up like a Google form or something like that, and just have a QR code on my phone so that anytime we have anything,
But they're on that
build that
And
list.
get some of that email.
So, because there were some people that were wondering about, because Mark said that he could send information out, like native plantings and that kind of thing. And people were like, oh yeah, I'd love to get that. And
I thought of that at the very beginning of this meeting.
And
But we do know some of the people that were there.
Yeah.
Mrs. Rasmussen was there, Elos was there. Sorensen's names.
the Jensens were there.
Sorensen, she was the trail runner, he was the.
Oh.
Sorensen. Make a mistake. But that doesn't really help, because I don't have the contact.
So the idea, I still haven't put together the video that we can put on social media, but the thought was that maybe we can include in the post with video. If you're interested in learning more, go to this form. Hopefully we can start, you know, if you were on the hike or you'd like to learn more about future events or learn about the plantings or the events or something like that.
Yeah, and it was my impression after talking to several people that the reason why we had big turnout is because Matt posted on all those other groups, and it wasn't just the city posting. So I think we can learn from that and continue to try to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
if we
a
can
couple
get at
people-
least two, you know, the city posted it like a week before and then spread it out
Yeah,
again.
because a couple of people were like, how do I find out about it? You say you have these like quarterly events, how do I find out about this? I just saw this one on the one forum, and I was like, oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
We try to advertise on social media, but that's something to learn from.
So lists, postings. We'll look for it.
We had a good amount of food.
Yeah, Matt came through on the
The
food, thank
treats
you,
were good,
Matt.
stuff was good.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think part of our success will be to do things like. Yeah, like before.
Yeah.
I also, I don't know if you were there when I advertised the RC.
Oh, I was running back, yeah. Mhm.
So it's another, it's a way for us to. How did the sustainability summit go?
There were some technical glitches and some setup glitches, but the content was very good.
Successful with this group.
Well, my main takeaway, as I went back and watched them was just that most sustainability, you know, most environmental sustainability work is not done by sustainability professionals. It's done by everyday professionals doing what they do with that lens of sustainability. Yeah, we have the drummer panel, Grace Lake, worldview / update.
Similar size of crowd as last year.
Overall, we probably had a few, like a more individual, like if you counted all the individuals. Because we also try to do stuff like with faculty, all did that, like, so a lot of the students attended, and I know that there are, for like the worldview interfaith one, in the ethics department, so there's a required ethics class that freshmen are supposed to take. And so they just said, on this day when we have class, go here instead, and that's class today. So integrating the summit into either classwork or extra credit costs more students there, which is good.
Nice. Do we have any other events that I'm missing since last time? So,
Already reported on the garden.
Okay, we've got something coming up though. And I'd love to more on the list. So, why don't you take it away?
Okay, so again, I know I kind of threw this out there, and I don't know if we wanted this to be an RSC event or kind of combined or whatever, but I'm doing a free swap in conjunction with the spring cleanup this Saturday at Palisade Park. So when you
This
go in
Saturday, at what time?
from 8 to noon. So the dumpsters are open, I think, from 8 to 3 on Saturday, but the swap's gonna be 8 to noon. So when you go into Palisade Park and you get to that T intersection, you can turn right and go to the dumpsters, or you can turn left and go around and there's a pavilion, and that's where the free swap is going to be. So the city had me film like a promo a few days ago. It hasn't run yet that I've seen. So that will have a video and then some additional information hopefully they include the link to the volunteer form, because so hopefully that post will come up soon, and we can also, I can share it to some of these other forum groups. So I anticipate, because that was advertised both in the digital newsletter and the physical newsletter to all.
Where's that physical
It
newsletter?
was in the physical, it's on the back page of the physical newsletter, so I'm anticipating a decent turnout. So,
Did the newsletter explain to people who are initiating what to expect with this one?
yeah, there was like a paragraph, like, you know, bring something, take something, it's, you know, you don't have to swap Friday, just come shop for free. We have a few stipulations, like nothing that requires specialty equipment to move, something that can be two people, no CRT. But I think it just fits well with spring cleanup. It's always chilly in April for many of the mornings. It's very windy at that location at the beginning. But once it warms up, it looks like it should be.
Where did Allison park?
So there's a pavilion that's, so when you go in and there's a T intersection, there's a parking lot over here, that's where all the dumpsters are gonna be, there's like bathrooms or something like that, right in front of you at the T intersection. And then back on this side, there's like another full parking lot over here.
On the right side of.
Oh, yeah.
So over here.
So, yeah, it's right, yeah, this is the pavilion.
Oh,
Or
by
it's
the splash
combined.
pad?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's on the back side of the restrooms.
Okay.
And then there's this field and then there's the
Okay, so it's this one.
I bet I have some stuff I'd like to get away.
yes.
Reference that morning. Take it with back on it. What would be the advantages of having an NRC sponsor?
Oh, I've always thought that at some point I'd love to get some signage that reinforces this idea of reduce, reuse, share, you know, like instead of throwing stuff away, this is an opportunity for us to share with each other and, you know, reuse and the benefits, I mean, like the environmental benefits of like not buying new, the resources saved, the transportation costs by keeping it local. So, you know, shipping costs, to out its neighbors. So, you know, having some kind of signage so that there's some passive education about additional benefits other than, you know, beyond just like I'm getting rid of my clutter or I'm getting stuff for free that I need. But also learn. Also, it helps to save water. It helps to save, you know, emissions.
Remind me what happened when I started all the takers.
Oh yeah, there was a lot left over, and we had one guy with a small truck. No, not to the dump, because anything that needs to go to the dump, yeah, the dumpster's right there, which is very convenient. But to area thrift stores, so that's another thing in the volunteer form. I have a line that says, "Are you willing to transport?" Yeah, transport stuff like that. So I'm also renting a U-Haul van, just because it helps me out getting rid of a lot of stuff. So this year I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just rent it. Reduce the stress for me. That would be available, but if we can get other people to help.
I think it's consistent with our mission and it's interesting. That makes a little bit of
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's something like if we do another one, if we do one with the spring cleanup, one with the fall cleanup, then maybe we can design some materials, some educational material, some lawn signs or something like that. And they could be ready for the fall event. Just again,
Okay, so not necessarily this week.
trying to put something together this week, I think. For me, if I had to do that, I don't plan this week to do that.
Okay. Okay, that's great. If I can transport that.
Run fast.
I used to run faster. So it's it's also. Okay, any other comments on free swap, memory, or? Well, okay. What else?
The upcoming bike forum events, they're doing Bike to Work or Anywhere Day on May 16th. The city is hosting 2 stops here at the library and the rec center, and
2 stops.
yeah, stations like where you host a station for like a couple hours or an hour and a half in the morning, depending on.
I saw something.
So they're gonna have, I think the mayor and council or staff members might cook pancakes at those 2 locations. I think they might have maybe fire department or, public safety is cooking pancakes at the rec center or something like that.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. So, and then there might be some activities or like, maybe not full tune-ups, but like bike checks and I think Mad Dog Cycles is in rec center location. And then the mall is hosting a location at the Orchard. Canyon Tech Park is hosting a station at the UP station. So the city is putting together the branding material and so it's got the strength of the city. Which is good.
So the city's like gonna already have all this in their social media.
Yeah, they will. They'll have the information and they're gonna print out flyers that can be posted up at all the stations, that has all the information about, because some of the different stations will be open at different times, but then internally, each can market for their own, what we're gonna do in the year, where we're gonna be. At least the yeah, just help advertise and support, but I think they're doing really well. They just put together their board last month. Voted on some of the board members and that kind of thing. So
This is the bicycle coalition.
yeah,
It's not called Bike Forum.
yeah, they've got their logo. They'll have stickers and I think they have t-shirts and giveaway at each station.
Cargo Bike Roundup, the Cargo Park, May 24th.
Right.
They're on to help us with the bike valet.
Yeah, Matt probably knows more about that. You know about that too?
And so he said that when he hoped he would join, he would give it.
Okay. You also had Orange Crest presence. in the list.
Yeah, I know we've kind of talked about that, but I don't know if we formalized if we're gonna do a booth or if we're gonna hang out at the bike ballet. Are we going to try to build our email list or have any kind of activity or?
I think at least on that Saturday, there's a bike valet. It would be cool if we could set a camp close by. So we can see what happens there and some people that way, whoever is promoted. our new fancy materials.
Yeah.
That's where we need that. But I kind of think for Kayla that that would be a useful deadline for us having our branding materials.
June 8th or something.
So, okay, that's great. And then do we have a quarterly economic books or stuff or something? I'm not sure.
Hillary, when do you come back?
I come back at Pioneer Day, basically,
Gotcha, okay.
July.
end of July.
We come out a real Utah.
Yeah. I didn't even say pie and beer. I said Pioneer Day.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we have to resolve that today, but if we're on the quarterly rotation, it seems like maybe June-ish. Good. I'm a little nervous about the heat of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to do something that we could do early in the morning. Sorry.
If you want me there, it would be before the 23rd, before the 15th of June, or after the 15th of August.
What kind of activity?
Like, talked about.
Like a car away kind of thing.
Yeah.
Introduce the development.
Yeah.
We did talk with Mark about planting service projects. I know that the lake is also doing a series of planting native vegetation along the shoreline. We've got some this month. I don't know if they're going to be doing any in June, but I don't know. Yeah, that could be another potential activity, some kind of service or education. Well, and that's a question, like, if it's an Orem activity, does it have to take place in Orem?
I think it's nice when it can. I still have this idea that I've floated about some sort of wildlife warden. I don't know, it may not be feasible to try to go out and get people to watch this up. And if we had anybody, I think, is there anybody in the forum that would be paying attention to animals?
Sure there are. I think we could go on, what's that? iNatural, since you can post all this stuff.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if you can actually figure out who they are from their username or whatever, but.
Is there a
If there's a
messaging
messaging,
feature?
yeah,
if
that's
you
right.
message them, you could maybe find out who is paying attention.
But summer's a good wildlife time.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of sparrows.
I do like the birds of Orem. That's the easier one.
Yeah,
because
I think birds is.
Got a lot of house finches around my house right now.
Every time I post them. And sometimes you think it's like,
It's just saying on purpose. Bird calls,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
and you can play them back at them, and sometimes they answer and get me confused. Might be, but it's really fun.
Is this the Merlin app? that you have? Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Merlin is good.
I can catfish Roberts and that. I recommend it. Send it to report. It's really fun.
I saw an awesome map this last week that maps green space at those micro levels all across the country. So it's a heat map, and they score your neighborhood based on whether getting access to green space is within walking distance.
Interesting. Hillary, did you have students do some green space mapping in Orem?
Yeah, my urban geography class, there was a group that did that. I can find their report and see, they didn't do that. That would be very cool to do, like give it a score. But yeah, they kind of did it, tried to analyze based on income and access to green space. They found it was pretty good.
There's this, if I can pull it up, I'm just going to show you this little map. But I looked up Orem. So it is this one. There's a link on the Washington Post. I'll show it to you guys in a minute. But it is see your exposure to health supporting nature. It has micro level data. This is an orange map.
Sorry, Hillary, we're looking at maps, one of your favorite things, without you.
I'm sorry, Hillary.
Right? You better send the link.
But you can see that the most efficient areas of Orem, in terms of green space, this is a good planner type of conversation,
Yeah.
is just the center spine. Let's see a bit around the road. Eastern Orem tends to do the best.
Right.
East Orem, and I like the fact that I can look up my house and more green space. But anyway, this is kind of a cool tool. We could do birds. We could do a presentation on Orem green spaces. That is, where
We could do.
no, you're not talking too much. Was it going to be a controversial proposal?
No, I thought it might be fun to sometime do like a zero waste picnic or something like that, like some kind of like a picnic at a park.
Zero waste picnic. I love it. And you could leave that.
Sure.
We could do something on composting. Okay. Are you still in the business of collecting things for our agenda next month?
Sure. I will pass them along. Oh, yeah.
Let's put summer activity. We'll try to nail down a date. I think would be good for that. Yeah. Is there any other planning that needs to happen? Or we decided we're not doing it on our thing.
Yeah. Never heard anything from the kindness committee this year.
I think it got restructured or something like that. I heard that there was some kind of shifting in how things.
And we're not doing the Earth Day drawing art.
We are not.
contest. Yeah,
I dropped the ball.
no, that's fine. The library's not doing
I know.
Okay. Wasn't sure if it was like you gave it to them.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't very good at it last year either. I think it would be fun to revisit that.
Oh, we have Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
Hey, Matt, thanks for joining. Before we move to the next agenda item, there were a couple of things where your name was mentioned. Maybe if you have any immediate updates, we could use them. We're hoping at Orem Fest on June 8th to have a booth on that Saturday, maybe proximate to the bike valet. And maybe have that be a rollout for our branding banners and tablecloth and things like that. But we need some guidance from you. Number one, if that's realistic. And then maybe also just an update as to where we are in the budgeting process so that we understand what kind of budget we have to work with as we make some of those choices.
Choices on what?
What we can spend on branding materials and bike valets.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the budget on that. That will just come out of our department budget. I will be getting that ordered.
Getting what ordered specifically?
The canopy, the tablecloths, t-shirts.
Nice. And maybe we could design the t-shirts or we could work on the design.
Yeah, we definitely, we have a logo for you now that we unveiled last year at the Orem Community
Right.
Hospital event. So, but we could arrange that or add to it if you'd like. We can definitely make the t-shirts how you like them.
Love it. Is that June 8th? Is that a good target date for having those materials?
June 8th. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's wonderful. That's great.
Matt, what do we do for like a table and chairs?
Yeah, well, that'll be all part of the arranging stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
That's part of the budget.
Oh, okay, so you'll order our own table and chairs. We won't just need to get them from the city or like,
Either way, that's something I'll arrange.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, Any update on our other budgetary requests for the year?
No, I won't have a final proposal on the budget until May. And I'm assuming I have that it will be programmed in the budget as requested, but I won't know for certain until May.
Okay. I recognize that's kind of when that gets done. That's fine.
That's what?
That's fine. Yeah, thanks. I recognize that's the
Yeah,
summer.
just nobody's budget's finalized until first council meeting in May, and even then it's subject to change until they adopt it in June.
What would we need to do to get a booth in the Orem Fest? And is it even feasible to get one proximate
Yeah,
bike valet?
I can reach out to Jenica and see if that's possible.
That would be
And
great.
this would just be for the Saturday, right?
I think we only have the capacity to staff for Saturday, but this might be a good chance to bring some volunteers and help us out. I'd like to try to staff for a whole Saturday if we can.
Yep, I will follow up on that too. I have these notes down and see what we can do there to get you in. The bike valet is not a done deal, but the bike Orem Bicycle Committee has been working with Orem City to have that funded. And the Orem Bicycle committee would like to run that. So they're taking the lead on it. I talked to two of their reps last week, and they felt things were that was most likely going to happen. I said, well, let me know as soon as possible so I can contract with another group to have it done. If they don't manage to get together, Bike Walk Provo is interested in managing the booth. And
Okay.
but I'll keep on following up with them to see if it doesn't go through for some reason. But they sound very positive about it.
I'm anticipating that unless we really advertise this, no one will use it.
Yeah, and because they've been taking the lead, that's sort of on them, and I haven't done anything because they've said that they're in the thick of it.
Yeah, they'll probably do.
So
Jen, what's the deadline, do you know, for getting print material for the Orem Fest booklet?
I don't know exactly. I'll have to check on that. I think it might already have been passed. It might have been Friday of last week, but I can find out.
Okay.
If we can get it in there, that'd be best. I just, no one is expecting it, kind of like the Spanish Inquisition. So it's the kind of thing that unless we really go all out and advertise it,
well,
we won't register.
And it might
well,
be-
when I talk to Bike Provo again, I will ask them what their plans are for doing that, and if there's ways that we can suggest or improve their efforts. I'll definitely take a lead in that.
Okay, you're talking about Mike Warren, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's great because I think by the time we hit our meeting next month, we will have lost some of our advertising window. So maybe we'll need to do a little bit of work on it between now and then. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Jen and Matt, before you came, we also did some brainstorming around a summer activity, and we had a very successful hiking activity. There were some shout outs to you, Matt, for the snacks and for posting it on multiple fora. As we talked to people about how they heard about it, it was mostly because you had posted it in the right kinds of places. So
What was the attendance?
Attendance was about 24, 25.
yeah, 25.
That's good.
Yeah. And it was a good event. We were trying to build some momentum around that, and that was a helpful thing to do. So thank you for supporting that. The next item on our agenda is to talk about our presentation to City Council. So just confirming 6 p.m. next Tuesday night, right? We're on.
Correct.
And we are, if not the first thing on the agenda, one of the first things, right?
Correct.
And you're thinking 5 to 10 minutes, is that about right?
I plan on 10.
Okay,
And that
Oh,
includes,
Jen, do you have a different sense?
I think we probably need at least 5 minutes for the awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll plan whatever's adequate. I feel like you don't need to feel like you have to fill time, but you don't have to hustle through it either. So whatever you feel like you need, certainly not more than 10, but don't feel like you have to make stuff up, I guess.
Okay. Will there be tech support to, I remember last year we struggled a little bit with that. We want to make sure that whatever slides we show get shown the right way. How do we ensure that
Have them sent to me. Yeah, send the slides to me and I'll make sure it's set up correctly.
Okay. I have Darren's presentation from last year. He did it in Canva. And then we have your presentation from the year before. Who owned it the year before?
So
Oh.
Sarah sent me those slides and I made the ones from last year.
You made these two. Okay. It wasn't there.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was yours.
I think, yeah, Sarah and
some of the
Sarah-
slides I think I had done before. And
then I just edited
updated.
them
Yeah.
and added a few of things that we were specifically doing last year.
Okay. So let's, if it's all right with you, I will take the lead this year since I haven't had an opportunity for a bit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be there?
90% yes.
Are you gonna be
I
there?
should be able to do that.
Hillary, I'm anticipating you will not be there. Okay. No worries. I know Darren will try to be there. Can be. Can I just take a few minutes to take some additional notes? My plan has just been to go in through and read the minutes from all our meetings, just make sure that I capture these awesome minutes that we've had. But Jen, please feel free to weigh in on this as well. What are the things that we think that the city council most wants to know from us?
I think it's really helpful to know A, what kinds of things you're working on, B, how that fits in the context of, how things have changed maybe from last year. Maybe we've grown or we've changed or we've shifted direction or we've, and I wasn't as involved last year, so it's harder for me to say that. And maybe there is no significant change. Maybe it's, hey, look, we're keeping moving forward and we're excited about it. Maybe a little bit of where you see things going. But I think it's a great opportunity for the council, but also for residents to see what you guys are all about. And almost I would think of it a little bit more, as I was sitting in council meeting, the last whatever meeting, I thought, as much as this is for the council members, it really is for the residents to know. Do residents even know that you exist? And if so, what your goal is and what your mission is? So I would think about it with the resident in mind and assume that they have no idea of anything about you. And I would start there and just say, hey, just as a refresher, this is our committee and this is what we exist for. And this is what we're excited about in Orem. And these are some of the things we're working on. And that's probably where I would go with it.
You know what else is on the agenda and what might be attracting residents to that meeting?
Hang on, let me look and see if there's anything I can tell you.
Planning has one rezone item on the agenda.
Is it a controversial one?
No,
It will not bring a big crowd.
no, I don't think so. We didn't have anybody come to planning commission about it, so that's usually very good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot, actually. Let's see. There's it's really awards and celebrations, and then there's a public hearing about, just a manager contract, and then there's a public hearing about, looks like a storage facility. I just don't anticipate there will be a lot of people there, quite frankly. So this could be good for people that are watching online.
Yeah. Okay. It's good. Good counsel. Thank you. One thing I should note, Matt, while you're there, is I have ordered the awards from McGee's, and I told them you're picking them up, and they said that they'll be done by Monday. So if we can aim to pick them up by Monday, that'd be great. Just give us a day buffer in case something goes wrong. Once I hear from them, I'll reach out to you just let you know.
Okay, I'll plan on picking them up.
It's the same. It's about the same cost as last year. I saw last year's invoice was $179.
No problem.
Okay. Okay. From the committee, what are the things you were most excited about in 2023 or 2024 that you want to make sure get some screen time?
Oh, I'm not well, I did have one idea that I could try to put together and send it your way and see what you think. Of doing like a minute or less video highlight of the events that we've done. So I have the video of our Xeriscape tour. I took some video, I haven't put it together, of our gardening class, of our hike. I don't think I have video, but I have some stills from the Harvest Festival. So if I can get kind of a video highlight that's a minute or less, that just shows real quickly some of the things that we're doing to try to add value to the community. That might be an interesting visual for them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I really like that idea.
And then could you send it to Matt
Yeah.
and the rest of us? Matt, is that something that we have the capacity to show?
What was the request?
A short 1-minute video to show as part of our presentation.
Yeah, if you send me the link or the file beforehand, I can test it with the other audio visual testing.
Okay.
I need it by Tuesday morning.
Okay,
So I'll work on that.
what a great idea. I love it.
Hopefully it works out. It works out.
Anything you want to highlight this year that you're proud of?
Those events.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a good job of.
Hey, I just heard back from Pete Wolfley.
Yeah.
And the Orem Fest program guide deadline is next Friday.
Okay,
As in like
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'll reach out.
your 30th?
let me ask him if it's what's so 19th or 26th. Those are
26.
It's the 26th.
it's the 26th, Matt. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
That might give us enough time to put something in.
And you're wanting to put bike valet in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess.
Yeah, but I need to coordinate with Quorum to see where they're at with that.
So the 26th is the drop dead date, he said.
Okay.
So I'm putting a note on my calendar to call them tomorrow, and also the deadline on my calendar with several reminders here. So
Who are
I'll
you
try and take a
calling?
lead in that.
Who are you calling, Matt?
Oh,
Timo Christensen, he's
oh yeah.
by Quorum.
Oh, Timo, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shauna's been involved too to some degree, Shauna Burbage, but
Yeah. Do you know who was elected on the board?
So Shauna Meekum and Timo Christensen are co-chairs. And then I don't know if Laura Bedford is a board member, but she does attend. She's on TAC. And then there's Brady is, yeah, Brady's with like communications. He was on the mic. I think David Staub is a board member, but I can't remember what his role is.
Pete said that if we get it solid by next Friday, he'll make sure that we have space. So I guess we'll just wait on you, Matt, to see what you can come up with.
yeah. I'll call Timo in the morning, and if he doesn't answer, I'll call Shauna.
Great.
Thanks for making that happen.
Yeah, no problem.
Does anybody have Timo's number? You probably do.
I
Matt.
do.
Yeah, could you?
I do.
Maybe send it to me by email. We have other business with Bike Worm as well. So that'd be great. Hillary, anything you want us to talk about in the presentation?
I trust you all.
All right. It'll be fun. Your guidelines are noted. And I will just kind of deadline guide, but in advance of our Tuesday, I'll make sure we all have a copy of the slides. Do you feel like Canva is the best format?
I don't like it.
I use it all the time.
I use PowerPoint exclusively, but that's because I have it at work. Canva is like open source, so that makes it easier for sharing.
If I send you a PowerPoint, that would work too, Matt, right? Yeah.
Please send me your PowerPoint. Please send me the video links or files.
PowerPoint presentations. We also use Google Slides.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we have Microsoft Office.
All right. Next up on the agenda is the water meter report. since we last talked, I tried reaching out a couple of different times to Reed Price to see if we could get him in this meeting or if he could just at least give us a report. But I was unsuccessful at hearing back from him. So I will continue to try to do that. But Matt or Jen, do you have any information because of the circles you run in that you'd like to share? I still think getting Reed here would be good because we were hoping that in the spring we could have a strong message about water use and water meter.
I talked with Reed Price about this after our last meeting sometime. I just happened to see him in passing, and he said that they're unrolling things slowly at first, just so they make sure they iron out all the kinks. And I think they said they hoped within a couple months that they would have everything kicked out to everybody. And I think a message about that would be awesome. Anything we can do to reinforce that or share what that means for us, or, you know, I think that's a great message. You get specifics from him, but my understanding is that within the next couple months, everybody should be online.
Okay, I think we still probably need him then to help us get the timing right. In the spirit of Sarah's video, wouldn't it be kind of cool for us to like do a TikTok where like we're each of us is out with our water meter and our app and saying, I can't believe I had a leak or whatever.
Yeah.
And
we found our star.
yeah. I think it could be make social media hit.
Yes.
But I think
Yeah.
I think it's a way of introducing us to people. I think it's a way of getting information out. I think it's a way of showing how we interact with the new system. But that might be kind of a cool thing to do in May.
Yeah.
Pull it off.
Well, and to that point, talk to Reed about this, but as they were working through this process, one of the IT guys had volunteered to sign on and kind of help test it. And he discovered a leak in his lines outside that would have taken forever to diagnose. And it actually saved them a ton. I don't remember the story, but it was a pretty big deal. Like whatever it did, it helped them. So, and Reed could tell you more about that.
Okay. So let's put that on our main agenda.
Sure.
I'm just gonna
Water meter
I'm gonna put Reed Price on that agenda. And hope he can come. I know those guys finish work before 5.
very early,
Early in the day.
usually. And I believe most of them are on 410s. So if you try to reach them on Friday.
Right.
Usually.
Oh, is that what it is? Gotcha.
A
Okay.
lot of public works. is that.
That takes us to stewardship updates. Hillary, anything you want to share? Stuff you're working on?
Yeah, I think everyone saw my suggestion in the last email about there's just like massive confusion around the landscaping ordinance in terms of like if you want a xeriscape, do you have to have grass? That's just like based on the surveys that my students and I did. So it might be good to have some, Michaela even said that maybe she could make some drawings or like some clarification, because I reread it too, and it's like pretty confusing, even though there are diagrams in the ordinance, which is appreciated, but like some real life examples like might be cool.
Can I weigh in on that for half a second? I feel like over the last 3 or 4 or 5 months, I've gotten emails from people just on a pretty regular basis asking us if we were going to adjust our landscaping standards so that they were in line with Utah Water Conservation or whatever. I can't remember the name of it, but that
Conservancy
is,
District.
yes, the Conservancy District. Thank you. And that is something I think that they're starting to look at, and I would really like them to look at. So before we update them, maybe it would be good to see what kind of ground we could make there and then update them. I mean, assuming that happens, I don't know if it would, but like that's something we're looking at. I don't know if you'd want to wait or if you'd want to do it now and then say that they may be changing. I don't know.
I mean, Matt, you have a perspective on that, I believe, right?
We have an ordinance prepared for that, and we're just waiting for the council to make that a priority that they want to move forward.
Matt, what needs to happen for that to move up the ladder?
So so Central Utah Water Conservancy District, they already had some funding dedicated for water conservation programs, and one of them is the sort of commonly called the Flip Your Strip program, where residents can apply for basically a rebate on every dollar or every square foot they tear out and put into an approved xeriscape plan. It has to go through them first for, you know, so it's not just rock or something, but it meets their standards. Then Governor Cox, formerly Lieutenant Governor Cox, he and the legislature led a funding bill that substantially increased the money available for that. Central Utah Water, to distribute that money, has said to be a recipient of the money, residents must live in a city that meet XYZ standards. Now, we meet actually already most of the standards. It would apply only to the front lawn, not rear lawns. It would also only apply to new construction, not any existing residential development. The real key portion that we don't comply with is they would like new construction to have no more than 30% of the front yard in grass. The council decided not to move forward with that legislation a year ago, I believe. And I've since had a meeting with Central Utah Water and Council Member Millett to discuss some of her concerns with them on that. And that's the last I understand where the program is. I also do occasionally get phone calls asking about the status and why a resident can't participate. And my response is, and that is a council decision to be made.
Okay, I'll talk with Lene about it and see kind of what her take is and what the holdup is, because I see no reason why we, you know, maybe she knows things that I'm not aware of, but I see no reason why we ought not to push this forward.
She has articulated that she does not want to restrict property rights.
Oh, okay.
And even if the developer puts this in before somebody buys the property, not restricting a property owner's right or choice to maybe increase the amount of grass in their front yard landscaping.
Okay. Okay, well, let me see what kind of discussions can be had about that. I mean, it sounds like from what you said, the bill's kind of dead, just waiting, not the bill, but the ordinance is kind of dead, just waiting there, but maybe there's some.
Yeah, the ordinance is ready. As soon as the city amends the standard, then residents can have access to this rebate program.
Okay, I'll see what I can do there, because I think that could be a good thing. And it could help the residents and it could help us, you know, contribute to good sustainable practices, so.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks for taking that on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna work on some explanatory information,
Yes,
and then we can decide how we want to roll it out based on where we run that.
and I'll take a few directions to accommodate
Love it.
potential changes, options, good stuff.
So Michaela and I maybe can work together on like some social media posts. Like in the meantime, before, this seems like maybe it might take a while. But
Yeah,
so like if someone's wanting to change things now, it's still kind of confusing for folks, like what is actually allowed.
It definitely is. It's one of our most common questions that we get to try and explain on the phone, which is not the ideal place. So.
it's not, yeah. I think the visual's gotta be good. You know, one of those things where you say check mark or X, you know.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. The other stewardship items for you.
No.
I think I've already talked about mine with the awards. All right, I'm hoping that, I'm almost positive we'll have somebody from like Orem there. I'm hoping that the rules will be able to come. Receive them with every shy. They're gonna get an award whether or not they want to receive it, so. Okay. Last two things on my list are, number one, we need to celebrate Michaela. And Sarah brought this lovely plant, which I'm hoping somehow you can take.
Oh, I absolutely can. I already have a bunch of other plants I'm transferring.
Okay.
Oh,
Make
excellent.
it a special spot in the car. I'm
You're one of those
driving.
that you can keep something alive.
Hopefully,
Okay,
2,
that's wonderful.
3 of my 6 houseplants have lived, so we're going 50% here.
Yeah.
We're doing okay.
That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
Can you tell us when you've got 2 weeks and then what happens?
So my last day with the city is May 1st. Then I'm actually leaving on a cruise that was planned a long time ago. We get back on the 10th and I pack up the truck and leave on the 11th.
Oh my
Whoa.
God, that's exhausting.
I'm gonna be really
You're driving
tired.
out of the U-Haul?
Yeah, we're driving a U-Haul, pulling one of our cars behind, driving our other car, and I've coerced my parents into helping.
Those were the days.
Oh, yeah. So my mom gets to spend Mother's Day in a U-Haul with me
Mhm.
every Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the way you supported us. You contributed substantively to our conversations. You've been great at having meaningful notes and minutes for us. It felt like you've been a part of our team. Thank you.
I've had a lovely time. This has been fun. I'm gonna miss you guys.
We're gonna miss you.
Yes, you too.
Well, you know the Zoom link if you ever need to Zoom.
I
in.
Yeah.
do.
Oh, that would be so fun. Right?
Yes, that would be fun.
What are you doing on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock?
Not much, actually.
We do have notes that she sent out to us, and if you've had a chance to review them, they're quite detailed. Calling for any additions or edits that anybody noticed that you make.
Any issues?
All right.
I motion to approve the minutes from March 19th meeting.
That motion.
I will second.
All in favor of approving the minutes from March 19th?
Aye.
Aye.
And we have a nod from Hillary.
And not from Hillary. Minutes are approved. Our next meeting, just to confirm, will be the 3rd Tuesday of May, which is the 21st of May, at 5 p.m. See that location. And
Probably not be able to do that. Sure, we'll list it.
I will be here.
So,
Okay. If you feel like you miss us, you can zoom in.
I'll see if I can.
What will you do?
Oh, I tell you, most will travel.
I get back from France 3 days before that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe we
I've forgotten
It's right.
And I do.
Okay. Some point we should have our retreat.
that.
Field trip.
Pay for Michaela to join.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thanks everyone for participating today. Productive meeting. We'll see you on May 21st, and we will talk to you before that. Thank you. And Eileen, welcome to the team.
They really are the best. Oh. Okay. Bye.
Bye.